All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. I'm super excited. Woo! I am here with the leadership of NAAAHR National. Okay, and what better time? This is February 1st, okay? The first day of Black History Month, and I am with the 25-year-old National Association of African Americans in Human Resources. Yeah. Okay, Madam President Erika Broadwater, take it away. Please introduce everyone and yourself, please.
Indeed, Lady Tamiko, thank you so much. I am honored to be sitting with my colleagues, our chairman, Mr. Nat Alston, chairman of the board. Yay. Our vice chairman, Dr. Carl Jefferson, our former president, Sir William Rolack. Yes. Our executive director, Mr. Ivan Crosling. And myself sitting as the national president. Listen, we are excited. This is 25 years in the making. And tonight, each of us are going to be talking about our legacy, our leadership, our linkage, our global expansion, and the 25th anniversary national conference. So we're ready. We're lined up and ready, Tamiko.
Thank you. And just thinking back, oh my gosh, 25 years is such a long time. And I want to talk about legacy, right? You mentioned we're going to talk about legacy, leadership, linkage, global expansion, and of course, our conference coming up in May. Now, I'm going to go to Mr. Chairman, Nat. Tell everyone, please, okay, NAAAHR legacy, because you know what? I don't think they know, okay?
Well, thank you, Tamiko. I've basically been, when we talk about legacy, and I'm always surprised now when we reach 25 years, because going back 25 years ago, many of you that are on here, as far as Carl, Erika, Ivan, and William, 25 years ago were just starting off in your career with us. And here we are now 25 years later, and you guys are strong in your careers and now moving to those next level. But when we think about 25 years back in 1997, 1998, when we were thinking about the organization, I always tell the story. Yes, we had about 12 or 13 HR organizations that were targeted as the Black Human Resources Network on the East Coast. And here in Atlanta, I think it was the Association of Minority Personnel Officers, if I can remember back that far. Right. But we basically thought about, yes, we've got all these local organizations, and DC, Washington, DC chapter of BHRN brought us all together down in Orlando, Florida. And when we were down there in Orlando, Florida, we really got together, loved what we were doing. We had a great conference. But the thing that was missing was a national organization tying us all together. And so many of us started talking about that. We say it was in a hotel room. It wasn't a back smoke-filled room, but it was in the hotel room there. And we talked about how can we form a national organization. And we probably had at that time maybe about 20 plus people in there. All of us was probably type A personalities, which really was something. And when you got type A personalities, people that were directors of HR, VP of HR, it really was an ego trip in the beginning, getting those A personalities together to talk about that. But what we basically did was commit ourselves to say, look, we're going to make this happen. And that started really the process of getting together and putting together the ideas and the thoughts. Now, let me do a backup too. This was 25 years ago when we didn't have LinkedIn, StreamYard, YouTube, all the digital platforms that we have now. What we had back then, 25 years ago, and I'm dating myself, was a fax machine, freeconferencecall.com, which even really wasn't that free. You had to pay for that too.
Wow.
And really making these calls and committing ourselves, because we also had to have what I would call budget authority, because a lot of times we were meeting, and that was that meeting flying in from all over the country. We had that group from the East Coast, sure, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, you name these cities. We were all coming together, and guess what? It was either on our own dime or the company's dime.
Yeah.
So you had to put all that together, and then when we did meet, it was still feeling out each other, because think about it. We only met one time in Atlanta, and we really weren't that close where we are now 25 years later as a family. So we really was there to get to know each other first, feel each other out. People really had their own agenda, so to speak, in there. So it really was a challenge to get that organization, to get us really started. So when people talk about legacy, yeah, you go back to that beginning and the challenges that we had to really create the organization, even coming up with the name. What should we call ourselves? Because at that time, we were probably the last organization to really nationalize. You had NAAAHR, you had all the other organizations, but HR, African Americans, and back then African Americans were still something new. We were still, what do we call ourselves? Black, African Americans, so we were really going through all that feeling out process of the name, feeling out each other out in terms of how committed we were, and all of that. So to see it now, 25 years later, and we started out with a group, we whittled down to about 12 people, 12 or 13, and to see where we've come from that one beginning in Orlando 25 years later is truly, truly a legacy. And to be part of this and have the people around here as a family, hey, it's a testimony of endurance, testimony of long-standing, shall I say, ideas and core values that withstood the test of time. So it's just a legacy that I'm indeed proud to be a part of and to be associated with.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. Amazing. And for those of you who don't know, that's so established in 1998. Okay. 1998. Wow. 12 people in Orlando created the National Association of African Americans in Human Resources. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Chairman, Nat Alston. Now, I want to go to Carl. Carl, when you think about leadership, what does that mean for NAAAHR? What is leadership?
Yeah, I would describe it as the core of our work. We are in the leader-making business. And I know that to be true because as I look around this call right here, we've all had our opportunity, Tamiko, to run or drive the organization and through succession. And just as I was learning and growing and becoming a leader at NAAAHR, I was also launching my own career and supporting others in their career. So our work is all about aligning with people who align with our mission, who want to form a national network, and who want to impact and supercharge HR at the individual level, at the team level, and at the enterprise level of organizations. And I would submit to you, we're not in the management business. We're kind of in the trailblazing business. And so if you really want to get to the next level in your career, if you really want to be in an environment where you can have safe conversations when managing your career, mobility can be a little challenging because sometimes we have that. You want to be a part of our association because that's how we get things done. It's by being in close proximity with each other. And we power ourselves by our lived experiences. So it's all about humanness, it's all about humanity. We pay attention to all of the issues that are impacting our community. Um, and we look at those things. And most recently, as you're watching the headlines, you'll see things that are challenging our community. And we use our leadership at Intro HR to have a safe place to discuss all kinds of topics. We know that either you're an entrepreneur or you are an employee of an organization. So we invite all of that kind of talent inside of our organization because at the end of the day, we need employment. And we believe we're one of the first voices of the employment relationship in organizations. It doesn't matter where you are, most probably either you're running a company or you're running a gig at a company. And so we're right here ready to support our members and our corporate partners in getting deep into conversations about leadership, which is why these conferences and these meetings that we have, they're jam packed with leadership material to grow. And that's what we want to do, cause growth and help people accelerate their development. So it's based on, of course, our legacy. Then we mix it with a whole lot of leadership, and then we start this whole linkage work.
And that is a perfect segue to Erica. I do want to talk about linkage because when Carl was speaking, it just made me think of okay, so we are one of the largest associations of African Americans, right? And talking about linkage. So if companies are looking for, and the buzzword DEI, we have so many consultants. I mean, just Erica, I'm throw it to you. Talk about linkage and how people should link with NAAAHR and how we can help them.
Yes, absolutely. And just piggybacking on the chairman and vice chairman, we're far beyond an HR organization in its traditional sense. As Dr. Jefferson said, we build leaders and we help promote leaders. So the linkage part of NAAAHR really is establishing that cadence of linking companies, linking people and individuals, linking organizations, entrepreneurs in just about every industry. We have had government officials, we've had potentates and dignitaries. So it's beyond just the lens of your corporate structure. We partner with you all are probably very familiar with AJ Ali with Walking While Black, Love is the Answer. So even the police community, we have that partnership and linkage so that it's not just siloed to human resource professionals and practitioners or those aspiring to be in HR or those who are climbing up, as Carl would say, that corporate ladder in their HR profession. We're so much more than that. We also have a number of cohorts that don't necessarily fit in that wonderful box of human resources. We have cohorts that are doing things like leadership development, like looking at your audits and compliance, right? People are scared of being exposed. Companies are scared of being exposed. So we have, partnered with some organizations that will help you identify opportunities within your company and your organization. And I would be remiss if I didn't say our long-lasting, everlasting relationship with HRCI, that will never go away. And our partnership with them has grown so much so that even with their new release of HRSI, where they're certifying companies, not individuals, but companies, to ensure that their company is EI ready. And if you're not, they provide you with a consultant. So the linkage side of NAAAHR, again, goes beyond just the lens of human resources and the practitioner of human resources. We're so much more than that, from the very top all the way down to the bottom. So as the chairman mentioned, 25 years ago, we didn't think that we would be where we are today, but we constantly look at ways of being relevant. We constantly look at ways of reimagining who we are and what we're doing. We constantly look at our brand and what can we do to help companies, organizations, individuals, and the likes thereof to continue that growth. So I'm going to now hand it over to the growth of NAAAHR to my wonderful, I call him Sir William. I think you all have heard me say this before. He's my forever president, but he is our immediate past president, our former president, Mr. William Rolack, to talk about our global expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Madam President. I have to say, just Tamiko, thank you for hosting, and I'm sitting amongst all of my mentors. So we have peer mentorship as well as senior executive mentorship here, and I've had the chance to work in Carl's administration. I will say, once Carl took over as president, and really grow. So it's really a theme here, as you've heard the chairman speak to, our foundation, our legacy, as you heard Carl speak to offering a platform for development of leaders. I have to say, NAAAHR offered me that platform, and we've had the opportunity to offer others that platform where you get to engage in opportunities that you may not be able to engage into or may not be at the level of engagement in your organizations. And that's one thing that NAAAHR has afforded many individuals the opportunity to do. So again, I can't thank the organization enough, for coming into existence in 98. Even back at that time, I will share just briefly, I sent a letter to the then president and President-elect Nat Alston at that particular time, talking about my excitement for the organization 25 years ago. And lo and behold, attending that first conference, I had no idea that I would have an opportunity to lead the organization at the presidential level. So for me, having that opportunity to participate as a chapter president for the Greater New York chapter and set the Greater New York chapter on a path for 501c3 status, and then, joining the national board to serve as parliamentarian, executive vice president, COO, and then president under Carl's leadership has absolutely been amazing. And again, under the leadership of the chairman of the board as well, and many other leaders that came before me. Madam President, yes, where we go to next is so important. And, there's a desire. There's always a desire for growth in every organization, in every entity that we serve. The desire to serve more and be more of a servant for those around the world. We realize in our jobs, and even in my job here every day, I get a chance to speak to people around the world. And in these opportunities for HR executives, so those who are in diversity, equity, inclusion, having the power of linkages and linking to the broader world, the broader spectrum of what's going on, the benefit for our membership in our organization and having those linkages, having those bridges. So when you do travel to the UK, we have the ability to connect you to partners and those that we've worked with, like AC Diversity, Brenda King, who leads that organization, and is a major leader in the European Union, and in that environment, her work in Brussels as a representative, etc. Traveling to South Africa, linking with Beatrice Ekeleche, who has supported our organization tirelessly over the years of multiple administrations now. The work that we've done with Hermage, and I'll give you the acronym is HRMAJ, but it's the Human Resources Management Association of Jamaica, which we've had the opportunity to, over the years, form a mutual agreement. And the basis of that beautiful mutual agreement with the Human Resources Management Association with Jamaica is, let's come together. Let's celebrate our similarities and learn from our differences. It was just a beautiful mantra that the president gave us at that time as we set a course and set a path to build those linkages around the world. So as we continue this journey over the next 25 years. Plus, a huge part of that is growing the base, growing our linkages around the world, and being able to really set a course for, Black human resources executives worldwide, and really making a worldwide connection. So when we come together as a family, we come together as a general culture, we come together as an affinity. And as you heard Carl so eloquently say earlier, and with those who support our mission and support our goals, beyond our affinity and beyond our family. It's about elevating human resources. This work is about elevating the work that we do in diversity, equity, inclusion worldwide. And we intend on growing and making those linkages and continuing this legacy on a worldwide platform.
That is absolutely amazing. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I don't know if the people are hearing this. Okay. International, global. Okay. He's named to Brussels, Jamaica, European Union. So this is not, it's not a game. It's not a game. So after 25 years, we are going global. And listen, on the first day of it's February 1st, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Black History Month, even though we know Black History is every day, but passing it over to Ivan because we have a conference coming up in May, and it is going to be amazing. Amazing. Tell us about it, Ivan.
Oh my goodness. So this is my favorite part, and this is what we do well. So Tamiko, thank you. Let me just highlight just a few things about this upcoming conference. And I'm just going to ask everyone to just take notes. Major dates, May 23rd to the 28th in the beautiful city of Baltimore, Maryland.
Yes.
We will be celebrating our 25th anniversary. How exciting is that? So, right, let's give it up. I mean, we have secured the space, we have secured the speakers, we have an agenda, and it's amazing. So let's first talk about where it's going to take place at. Okay, the Baltimore Hilton Inner Harbor Hotel, beautiful hotel, and I'm going to also say that we're selling out fast. So what does that mean? We're already looking into overflow hotels.
What?
Oh yes. So you want to be in the host hotel, but we're working on getting the other hotels very, very close by. And I'm moving to the next piece, which is the content. And here's what's funny. I remember, again, I started off, at the first conference as a volunteer. And, it's because of the individuals sitting here that really pushed me and trusted me in so many areas to really make sure that at least the execution of these pieces take place and they are successful, right? Some feedback I used to hear earlier in our days was, there's nothing, these guys it's just a party. They're just having fun. And I'm like, wait a minute, I think about the workshops that were there and that we were having early on. But I said, I think the key is we wasn't capturing it, right? And so let me capture what we're doing this year. We're talking about a 4-day exposition and vendor show. We're talking about 1 virtual career fair, 26 breakout sessions, 7 general sessions.
Come on now.
All of these sessions will be HRCI certified. We have a life membership luncheon this year. And of course, plenty of networking opportunities for you. A young professionals summit where we are partnered with Morgan State. Yes, Morgan State University. The list goes on and on. If that is not enough content for you, I don't know what is. But the cool thing about it is we add what we call our secret sauce. And the secret sauce is we have fun while we learn.
Yes.
That's basically what it is. We are having fun while we're learning. So I want to encourage everyone, at this point, make sure you register. I think we may have still just a few open slots for speakers. But
might be full. They might be full because yesterday was the deadline. So
okay. Well, I might, I might be speaking out of turn here. Speakers committee, but I saw a lot of applications coming in, and I tell you, I shared with the team. We did an amazing event last year in the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix. Oh my goodness!
Come on now.
So I mean, we sold out an all-inclusive resort, and it was nothing but us. And we had content. We had a great time, right? We're about to do the same thing, but now it's on shore right here, something that we do well. It was a lot of work, but I said, there was a lot of content, a lot of workshops that I actually wanted to attend. So I've already put the word out there. Listen, I'm going to these workshops. But we're going to have a good time. I also want to share just a couple of some announcements, some giveaways, if you will. We always kind of have some fun, and at the last minute we'll throw some things out there just to kind of entice just a little bit, right? So here's some things that's going on. So for our first 25 registrants members, if you're a member, first 25 members who register, we're going to have a special gift waiting for you at the registration desk. Okay, special gift just for you for the first 25. And then our next gift, because we don't want to overlook the non-members, because we want everyone to come. So for our first 25 non-members, we're going to entice you with just an extra $25 to go towards your membership. That's a way of saying, hey, we want to celebrate you, both our members and our non-members. We want you to come on board, right? And we'll be able to track all this. But I want to also just kind of shout out just a few names because, as I mentioned, I started off at the first conference. I was right there in Philadelphia. And I just remember we had to turn people away. At least that's what I had heard the conversations. I didn't stay long because we were at capacity at the hotel. We just couldn't take any more in. Fire marshal said we had to stop. But there were some individuals there, and we talked about this, and I thank each and every one of you for just talking about the organization as far as legacy and lineage and whatnot. And some individuals, I'm not going to give their full names, but I'm going to call some people out because I would love to see them at the 25th anniversary. We're talking about a Pat. We're talking about a Dorothy, Felicia, Tracy, Pico Energy. I'm just throwing some names out there.
Oh boy.
About when we come together, and that first day is going to be really filled with, of course, the registration. It's going to be a lot of hugs and a lot of energy right there. As I said, it turns into the reunion almost. And of course, we have some kickoff receptions that'll take place that Tuesday evening. Wednesday we'll have our Trailblazer Award ceremony, and then full of content Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then as I mentioned, when it comes to Saturday is going to be a little bit of everything because one of the things I neglected to mention is after 25 years of existence, Morgan State University has agreed to house our artifacts and tell our story.
Oh, wow.
It's powerful. So powerful. So Saturday we'll be able to visit the campus, take a look at the space of where we'll house the archives. Saturday is also the Young Professionals Summit. Then Saturday also is we'll still have the expo. You can experience the city of Baltimore, but that evening, of course, we'll have our closing dinner and reception as well. So it's going to be jam-packed. I know it's Memorial Day weekend, but you don't want to miss this one. If you're going to spend Memorial Day weekend anywhere, you want to spend it with us. We have a good time, and at the same time, you'll learn something new.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you. Listen, we've been talking with the leadership of NAAAHR national organization. This is our 25th year. We've talked about legacy, leadership, linkage, global expansion, and now the conference and I'm going to throw it back to Erika because guess what? We didn't tell them what the title of the conference was, which is, Madam President.
Yes, indeed. And so what you're looking at right now is the office of the chair. And with Nat's vision and where Carl took us, where William took us, and where, I'm trying to continue to move that needle. William made a statement in one of our meetings. Can you reimagine what the future of HR and diversity, equity, and inclusion is going to look like? And from that moment, that's what we decided. That's what the theme of the conference is. The future of HR and diversity, equity, inclusion, people, power, process is the tagline. When William said reimagine, that stood out to all of us as a way of thinking future forward. So as the chairman said to you, where we came from 25 years ago to where we are right now, William is saying, let's look at the next 25 years and the 25 years after that and 25 years after that, right? So that we remain relevant. So the future of human resources and diversity, equity, and inclusion, I would add in their leadership. I would add in their business. I would add in their everything under, like Ivan said, that secret sauce of where we do it well, where we perfect it, and continue to look at the people, the power, and the process behind all of what we do. So that is our conference theme in the beautiful charm city of Baltimore, Maryland. And what Nat shared with you, while everybody came together in Orlando, NAAAHR was established in Baltimore. So this is a homecoming. You heard Carl say, you heard Ivan say, when we come together, it's a family reunion. This is homecoming. So yes, Memorial Weekend is the close of everything happening, but we're going to have fun while we learn. But this is homecoming. Lifetime members, you all know what this means to us. Our current members, our current chapter leaders, you know what this means to us. Past, it doesn't matter if you're in an NAAAHR leadership role right now. You've taken this 25-year journey with us. This is homecoming. Yes. Ivan shouted out a couple names. He didn't say them all, but he shouted out a couple. Homecoming.
I love it.
Yes.
And from Morgan University, Morgan State University, HBCU, y'all, come on, HBCU, inducting us in the Library of Artifacts on campus. That is history making. Our gala at the Reginald Lewis Museum, that's history making. This, y'all, like Ivan said, this is one you don't want to miss. When we came back from the U.S. Virgin Islands, everybody asked the chairman, they asked Dr. Carl, they asked William, they asked me, they asked Ivan, what are y'all going to do different, bigger, and better next year? 25-year anniversary. We're putting our brains together. We're putting the team together. This is going to be explosive. And Ivan gave a few gifts. Now, it's not like Ivan to give a whole lot of gifts. So when he gives gifts, you'll get to snatch it up.
Right.
Yes.
That is
and if I may chime in a little bit myself in that, when we think about, Erika just mentioned it, we're going back to an HBCU, and that's Morgan State University. And I want to give them a total good shout out because Dr. Ida Jones, who is an archivist there at Morgan, they are really setting the tone for the future. And we're glad to align ourselves even with Morgan. And I've got to give them a shout out. For one, Morgan now is going to be granted a medical school. And this is the first one in 40 years that has been granted to put an HBCU medical school there. And they're also applying, which they will get to, an R1 research designation.
Come on
that
now.
puts them in the same category as Johns Hopkins, as University of Maryland, as Harvard. So we've got an HBCU that we are strategically aligned with. And as Erika mentioned, in terms of legacy, they're going to house our archives, our memorabilia, think our conferences and all. So when I see the need for us to have a legacy there going forward, a research facility. When we talk about an R1, that's a research facility. So students that are in their school of business, that are majoring in human resources, they can look at us as an organization because they can do research on us. How did we begin? Where are we now? And where are we going? Yep. Those are the three categories that we're looking at in terms of that legacy, not just in the past, but the present and also the future. And to have it at a prestigious HBCU is just amazing.
Come on now. Come on now. The chairman is about to start preaching, y'all.
Yeah, well, it's a point where I said earlier when we talked about the 12, and I talked to some of the founders that are still around and alive, they are even surprised that we are here 25 years later. Right. Many of them have retired and gone on, and I've talked to several of them, and they said, how is the organization going? I said, we've never been stronger than we are now, and we're going to get even stronger. And they're amazed that 25 years. Yeah. All the challenges and all. That's right. And the future, to me, looking at it from a standpoint, we practice what we preach. We're talking about succession plan. We've got these individuals here succeeded each other. Now we've got a very bright future. So we just don't talk. We practice what we preach.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to jump in here. It's really a homecoming for me. So I'm sitting in Atlanta, Georgia right now. But my first college experience when I was thinking about pledging my fraternity, it happened at Morgan State. I went to Morgan to really get started. And, it gave birth to my HR career. So where we're hosting the conference is where I worked for Marriott Corporation for 10 years until I became a director of human resources there. I literally walked down the street from the hotel to go to the Omni Hotel when we were first giving birth to Intro HR and having it come into existence. It's just such a powerful experience to know that, Nat, the dream is alive and it worked. I was an early career HR leader, and I worked my way up in partnership with this organization to some of the corner offices of corporations all the way to the White House. And along the way, I tapped William. I tapped as many people as I could. I tapped Ivan, and the intention was to give us an opportunity. And I'm just keeping it real. The bank account, I started counting, first you're counting dollars, and then you're like, ooh, I'm gonna count dollars and zeros. This thing really works. It's like a network. I mean, William and I have had some, and he's ironically enough, Ivan and William and I are fraternity brothers. So we really go deep. But we have others in the membership. We would really, Matt, we would sit down and have career conversations about, okay, so how do you strategically move from this position to the next position? And we all have these career experiences. And I'm telling you, one after the other, went from job or resumes, and you just watch the dollars click, click, click. You go click, click, click. And so it's a reality. We are standing in the vision of the chairman. I just want to say, so glad you created this organization with your peers at the time, that you created a space for us to come play and learn. Yes. And it's just working. It's just, as I'm looking at us right here and now, it's hard to see what will happen going forward, but sitting here and looking back, like those 25 years, it's not like a lump sum. I can go backwards to 2022, 21, 19. It's sequential, and you can see the growth. And it's just so important that we have a safe place to actually be together like this. So thank you, Chairman, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Really. And it's just a point of the family that you mentioned coming together. And I think one of the comments was, what's the future, the urgent need? My dream and my vision is that we remain relevant out there. And that in my opinion, when I see the comment, what's in NAAAHR's urgent need? The urgent need that I see out there is that we remain relevant to the future.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it to a point where I've got, and I don't mind saying it, I've got 3 grandchildren. They're 10, 12, and 16. If any of them decide to go into HR, I want this organization, I pray that this organization is relevant for them to do just what Carl is talking about. That my granddaughters or my grandson can say, look, my grandfather was part of this organization. I want to see it grow, and I want to be a part of it so I can grow my career within human resources. So that's what I see as part of our legacy as far as the future, is creating that environment, as you said, a family environment, a safe environment that I can go into, and that I'm around people such as what I see on the screen that can help me achieve whatever career aspirations I may have in the field.
Yeah, I have to echo that, Mr. Chair, and leading back to what Carl mentioned earlier, you know, those career conversations, frank, very blunt, very heartwarming, very family oriented. I can give you the whole list, and so well-meaning. The conversations that I've had with this team, the chairman, Erika, Carl, Ivan, and so many others, and some of the names that Ivan called to be at this conference, who I know, we've had some really frank career conversations. The relevancy is spot on, as Mr. Chairman said, because relevancy is the generator, and I really want to call it. NAAAHRs are truly a career accelerator.
Oh yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what that means, I'm here to tell you, it's one that's going to give you the dialogue, give you the intellectual capital. It's going to far exceed for most of our young professionals where they are in their career today. The opportunities that the board and committees afford you to participate in, and the understanding of growth and strategy far exceeds, again, what many have probably ascertained at the current level where they are in their careers. I like to share an example. Aaliyah Powell, who led our collegiate network at one point in time, coming out of high school while she was attending Howard University, today at 27 years old is the head of diversity, inclusion, equity, and belonging at Favor. So at 27.
Wow.
But we afforded her the opportunity to sit in board of directors meetings when she was in high school. So I can't say enough about the opportunity that it afforded to my daughter, Aaliyah Powell, and her acceleration in diversity, inclusion, and human resources. It's a truly career accelerator when you get a chance to spend time with the leaders in this organization. I hope you understand strategy development, global expansion, cultures around the world, not only the African diaspora, but understanding how to navigate nuances, how to mitigate faux pas.
Yes.
Learnings are priceless. And so I can't say enough about the encouragement of participation in this organization to support and maintain the relevancy, because it is truly a career accelerator.
I have to say, I agree. If I can jump in just very quick.
Yes, please do.
We can go. We're talkers.
And Ivan, remind them that membership has its benefits, right? So it's not just about come into to homecoming at the conference, but actually join the organization. Like,
right.
But go ahead.
Well, I tell you, Tamiko, is funny because I'm right there. Because basically, it is about investing in your personal development, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you own your development. And what better place to do it than in an environment where it's a comfortable platform for learning?
Yep.
They give you the opportunity, to lead, to learn in both a formal and informal manners as it relates to mentorship and whatnot. I can't tell you enough how I've learned just from the people around me. And there's some mentors in this organization that didn't even realize they were my mentors. But it's just a matter of supporting them. Yeah. It's just a matter of just sitting on their committee and watch them work. It's just a matter of attending a breakout session, a matter of attending, now attending a Zoom conference, but it's an investment. And, for you're joining so many other organizations, why not join this one and really get the benefit out of that leadership piece? Dr. Jefferson, you mentioned it earlier. We build leaders. I can't. There've been positions. There's been times when I've been in meetings, and I was not the leader of the meeting, but I just happened to take over the meeting. And then sometimes they have to say, "Ivan, this is my meeting," and I'm sorry, but it's something. Again, it was just an opportunity that I say to everyone. It's worth the investment. Take the time to get involved. And the best time to get involved is at the conference. I say also when I speak to our partners and friends, I said, we're back. COVID, put a little hiccup in what we do well, because we are a face-to-face organization, and so many things have come out of our conferences, partnerships, businesses, ideas around just growth, growth and development. These are all things that have come out of just the experience of just being present at one of the NAAAHR conferences. So I can't say enough. It really is about just that investment, and then come in and then take advantage. But when I say take advantage, that is come in and really absorb the information, and there's opportunities there that you just have no idea. There are individuals with so much intel. Take out for a meal. Everybody, we like to eat too. Just there's so many creative ways where you can just get in front of some of these leaders who love to talk, and who have no problems just sharing some of this intel that you can take back to your organization, that you can just kind of hold on to yourself and grow and develop. I stayed with this organization for so long because, quite honestly, it's fun. It's fun, and I'm learning something new from the people who I work with.
Yeah.
And Ivan, what you said too, it's a whole, and Carl, this is a safe environment. I can't stress that enough. Because many of us, when we talk about that legacy, going back to our organizations, we ended up being the only one or one of few in our respective organizations, particularly in HR. And when you're the only one, and through this 25 years in there, you develop these relationships. And when you come to the conference, you develop that relationship, you're safe, whatever that's on you. I mean, I can go back on some of our conferences that were really in depth, and we talked about the stress. We talked about how it feels to be the only one in that environment.
The only
one. And here we're around other HR professionals that are going through the same thing. So what we end up being a therapeutic session, to be quite candid. Because guess what? I thought, or one of us may have think, am I going through this alone or what? Yeah, maybe in your job, but when you came together and in NAAAHR conference and developed that network, people found out you're not alone. You can talk to us. We're going through the same thing. So we're sharing that experience. So we end up being, in a lot of cases, a support group for people. So you can help navigate, and you can say, well, gee, wait a minute. Am I okay? Yes, you are. And we could tell them that. And they felt comfortable in doing that. So it's not just a professional organization where you're getting HRCI credits, but you're also developing these relationships that you can share your feelings, your thoughts, and knowing that I'm in a safe and comfortable environment that's going to take care of me and that has my own interests at heart. So this is one of the things that I think that separates us from other organizations that's out there.
Yeah.
You know, Tamiko, the chairman and Ivan said two very critical things, and I want to make sure everybody heard loud and clear. So when the pandemic hit and we had to move our conference virtually and into the next year, we had our virtual conference in Norfolk, Virginia, but it was virtual in 2021. If there were an opportunity to sell out in a virtual conference, we probably would have sold out. We had a great attendance for that virtual conference, but the theme of it was, and you were one of our speakers there, the theme of it was, back to, the chairman's point was, it's time. And what the chairman just said is why we came up with that theme. It's time for us to go back to being a resource for humans. So sometimes we are that sounding board. Sometimes we are that consultative service. Sometimes we are that resource for the humans that we serve. And so when you look at this organization, and that's why I said before, we are so much more than just a bunch of HR practitioners. We're so much more than that. But from that one at Norfolk, it was virtual, huge attendance, brand new partners coming out of the woodworks, right, Ivan? I mean, we had new partners that were knocking on our door saying, we need you all. We need your help. We need your speakers. We need to hear what you all have to say. Moving that into the Virgin Islands, as Ivan said, we were huge. Coming back in person as our very first destination conference. And now here we are about to sell out in this hotel. We're looking at overflow. So if you haven't registered yet, while we're running early registration, you better hurry up and register because we have so much. It's such a packed agenda. And as Ivan said, I try to sneak into each of the sessions and try to get a glimpse here and there, but I'm supposed to stay in one so I can get the HRCI credits. I skip around. Gentlemen, we can't skip around from one session to another. We need to be planted. But there's so much rich content that you don't want to miss one session after another. So I just say, back to, again, what the chairman said and what Ivan said, this is an organization that if you're not a part of yet, you need to be a part of our family. This is a family. We have over 40,000 in our network. That's a big family. That is.
And can I say, and speaking of family, and I saw a comment that came up, and I want to thank Christopher Lopez, our COO, for bringing this to our attention. Let's announce, or at least just talk about where we are, where our presence, when it comes to our chapters. So we have New Jersey, we have Washington, D.C., we have Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Rochester, and U.S. Virgin Islands. Our newest chapter, Huntsville, Alabama, Philadelphia, Chicago, New England, Connecticut. We're at Arizona, Greater Los Angeles. So all these, we have a presence. What's great about that, Erika mentions with 40,000, we move from, as HR practitioners, we move from location to location. And how great is it that you can, have a presence in a support system in, say, Philadelphia, and say, if you have to move to the West Coast, there's already a network right there to help you, get engaged, get involved, get comfortable. Find those resources, barbers, hairs, all those little things to help you get involved, and settle in these new places and environments. So, the network is, it serves in so many different aspects, not just that personal, professional, but, but just so much more. So and I hope I didn't miss any chapters. If I didn't, please help me out here. But just having that presence there, I think is great.
That's amazing. And one thing I do want to say is that we've already talked about, legacy, leadership, linkage, global expansion, and of course the conference is coming up. But do you remember what William stated, that it's about career growth, right? Mm-hmm. Getting that leadership experience. For me, when I first started in HR, I joined this organization. Then I served on the board for like 6 years, right? As VP of Digital Media Strategy. And guess what? Now my company is the premier marketing and branding company for the NAAAHR National. Okay. Exactly. So, but that, just being a part of the board for that long, it definitely, I've had mentors, learned leadership strategy, etc. So I love this organization. We've been here 25 years, and listen, the sky is the limit, or if we go beyond that, whatever, but there is no limit, right? So membership has its benefits. While we are about to close, if each of you want to say just one thing that you want people to remember, I want y'all to remember to go on NAAAHR.org and join, become a member, because membership has its benefits. Again, I spoke at the conference, my first national conference speaker a couple of years ago in Norfolk. So membership has its benefits. So
it does. And when you say that, and I'm looking at time too, 25 years, one of the things that I look at also, we have not remained stagnant. Mm-hmm. For an organization to evolve, to grow, and to continue to grow, we have to evolve, which we have. We've embraced technology. You're talking about it now. And so we're going to embrace technology in the future. That's what we're talking about. The other piece in there in terms of growth, this is exceeding, I can tell you now, this has exceeded the founders' wildest dreams. And to see us start off at 12 and to see and listen to Wim talking about global expansion, that's growth. That's telling anyone that's coming into this organization now, that's Gen Z or whatever, we are going to embrace you. We're going to take you in. We're not stagnant. We're always evolving. We're going to listen to your ideas, incorporate those ideas so we can still remain relevant in the future. So I say to anyone that's listening right now, if you're in HR or know someone in HR that's even thinking about HR, particularly at our HBCUs, because that's also what we're trying to reach out to, is our young people in our HBCUs who are thinking about a career. This is it. You get the career, and guess what? You join us, and we'll take care of you and let you reach, in my words, reach the stars.
That's right.
That's awesome. Anyone who wants to go next? As we are wrapping up, so give them some tidbits. What do they need to know? I mean, this was a very rich conversation.
I will just add, hey, listen, get involved, become a member, make plans to get to Baltimore, Maryland.
Yes.
If you do nothing else, invest in yourself. I know it's going to be an investment. It might be a sacrifice for some, it might be breeze for others, but it's worth the investment.
Listen,
have the benefits.
I'm going to keep it real. You can save some money on them nails, save some money from them shoes, save some money from that outfit. Invest and boom your own career. If you come inside the organization, you're going to go up. I'm telling you now, come invest in the organization. You're going to go up. I can show you, I can testify. We make leaders here. So come on, sign up, register. See you there.
Yes.
I'm just going to give 2 words because all has already been said. Career accelerator.
There you go.
I love it. I love it.
And with that, the only thing that I will cap it off with, because I think our chairman said everything so eloquently: legacy, leadership, linkage. That's who we are. That's what we're about. And we will continue to thrive 25 years from now and more.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That is it. We are done. We are done. If you missed it, oh my God, go see the replay. Go see the replay. We hope to see you at the conference. And again, Erika, let them know what the title of the conference is. Please.
The future of HR and DE&I people power process in the charm city of Baltimore, Maryland, May 23rd through the 28th. Fully packed agenda. You don't want to miss not one single moment.
You do not want to miss it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm your host, Tamiko Drummond. Thanks for allowing me to be here. HR National 25 years. OMG. The anniversary is going to be a homecoming.
It's a homecoming.
Right.
We look forward to seeing you there. Check out the website, NAAAHR.org. Become a member and sign up for the conference. Invest in yourself. And guess what? We are out. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.